Hello, everyone. Welcome in. This is my first official live, and I want to welcome you. I am Sophia. If you're new here, my name is Sophia. I teach beginners, families, and busy people how to grow real food in real life. Not perfect Instagram or social media gardens, but real food, real time, and real homes. And today we are talking about something very important. If I had to start gardening or growing food from absolutely zero, no garden, no tools, no experience, no confidence, this is exactly what I would do first. Because I know a lot of people want to start growing food right now and they don't know where to start or what to do. I meet so many people from so many different walk of life, and I just wanted to go on live and make this feel less overwhelming because most of them, when they come to me or ask me questions, it seems like they feel very overwhelmed to begin their food garden journey. So you do not, you don't know where to start. You're in the right place in this live. I hope you find me today. And if you're rewatching it later on, that's still good. Or if they feel like they already failed before. So if you feel like you already failed, you tried gardening and it wasn't for you, this is a space for you to come and talk to me. And if this and if this is you and you are in the right place today. So if you feel overwhelmed or you have tried gardening before, you are in the right place. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you have tried gardening before or you feel overwhelmed about just, growing your food. Let me know. Just say me in the comments. And and if you have any questions, like what makes you feel overwhelmed about gardening, let me know. Just put it in the comments and we will answer your questions here. I just want to make sure that if you're starting from zero today, and this is your first year of starting gardening, I want to be your guide to making sure that you start growing food because it's very important. I mean, all of us people survive on food, right? And you know, if you start growing your own food, it is going to be a beautiful journey. I'm not here to teach you to like stop going to the grocery store. I'm here to teach you to grow at least one thing that you could eat from home. Okay. So if you're overwhelmed, if you tried gardening before and it didn't work out, you are in the right place. You are in the right place with Tasty Harvest. My name is Sophia Hamis, and I want you to let me know what makes gardening feel overwhelming or what is stopping you from starting your garden. Okay. So, this live is especially for you if you've been thinking about growing food, but keep putting it off. There's so many people, um, you know, that are that want to start gardening and they just don't know where to start or the idea of gardening just put them off. What is putting you off? I want to hear it. Let me know in the chats. Let me know in the chats. What is putting you off from starting your garden? Because you could garden anywhere, and we're going to talk about all the different methods. I actually practice so many different methods of gardening, and I want to teach you no matter where you are, you can garden. Gardening. We're talking about food gardening. Food gardening. Anybody could grow food. So, what is putting you off from growing food? Do you feel like you don't have the space to grow food? Do you have the space to grow food? Do you feel like you don't have the time to grow food? Or do you feel like you don't know enough to start growing your own food? Or maybe you tried it once and it didn't work out. Let me know what is stopping you from growing food? Is it space? Is it time? Is it I don't know where to start? Let me know in the charts. What is stopping you from growing your own food? Maybe seeds didn't grow before when you started, or you don't know what seeds to start, or maybe you went all excited and planted, got some plants and they died on you. Is that you? Let me know what is stopping you from growing some food. Maybe life got busy, or you told yourself maybe this isn't for me because you kill plants. That's one thing that I hear a lot of people say, or when they meet me, they're like, I kill a lot of plants, or I've killed plants before. And I want to let you know that killing plants are part of your journey. Killing plants are part of your food garden journey. Okay. If you do not kill the plant, I don't think you're a gardener. Okay. You must kill plants. You must fail in gardening to become a gardener. Okay. So if you have killed plants before, that means you are starting your garden journey. All right. So I want to let you know here that it's okay when you're starting off your gardening journey, you can kill plants. Okay, you are going to kill plants. And what that means is that you're going to learn from those lessons. You're going to learn why did that plant died, and from there, then you build up and start building up your confidence in growing food. All right. So I want to hear you. What is stopping you from growing or starting your garden or growing food? Let me know in the chat. What is stopping you from starting a food garden journey? Everybody eats. You go to the grocery store and buy those produce, those are coming from somebody else's garden. I'm here to teach you at least to grow one thing that you could eat from. All right. And it's very simple. No matter where you live, you'll be able to grow food. And that's what I'm gonna teach you all the different ways that you could start growing food. All right. I want you, so do you tell yourself maybe this is not for me? That's why you're not starting growing your food. I want you to pause right now and hear and tell you something important. Growing food is not a talent. It is a learned life skills. Okay? Just like cooking. All of it is learned and I learned it. And I'm here to help you. Just like driving, right? We weren't born starting to drive. We weren't born and then we just started cooking, and it's the same thing with gardening. It's a life skill that you could learn. So just like budgeting, how to budget your food, it's a skill. You have to learn it. Just like how you take care of your health, it's a skill. You need to learn how to do that. Nobody was born knowing how to grow food. Nobody was born knowing how to grow food. All right. So, what you will learn today with me in this live, by the end of this live today, you are going to know the first decision I will make All right. So the first decision you will make, the first plant I would choose, the simple system I would follow daily, and how I would make it fit into 10 minutes lifestyle. Because I know a lot of you are busy. All right. Somebody said, let me see. Poor people wear hoodies indoors. All right. I wear this hoodie in here because this is my Tasty Harvest is my business, and I love wearing hoodies. So, and I underneath I have the shirt, and I love to wear hoodies. So it's okay if that's what you feel like. Fine. I'm here. I live in Massachusetts, and it is cold. My space where I am, it is warm, but I love to wear hoodies, so that's fine. But back to gardening. What you're gonna learn is how I would make it fit into a 10-minute lifestyle. And because I know a lot of you guys are busy, I have designed everything I could teach around real life of growing food. Over the years, I've worked with kids, families, beginners, community gardeners, people in apartments, people with backyards, people who said that they could never grow anything. And I noticed something very important. The people who succeed are not the people with the biggest garden. The people that I've seen succeed, some of them don't even have a garden, a backyard garden. Okay. They are the people who start small. So, the first lesson, if you are very new to gardening and do not know when to start or what to do, start very small. Because I know when you go on social media and you see gardeners out there, they show their beautiful backyard um, gardens growing so many things, and you are watching it and being inspired and saying, hey, I wish I could grow my garden like that. But it takes time. So today, if you want to start gardening this year, I would advise you to start small. Start small. The other thing is that you have to stay consistent with your garden. You need to stay consistent and then build confidence with one plant at a time. All right. You're going to build your confidence with one plant at a time. Most successful gardeners did not start with 20 plants. I know a lot of people, once the weather starts to get warm, people march up to the big box stores, and then every plant that they see out there, they want to buy, or they fill up their cart and bring back a bunch of plants, and then they get in trouble because they don't know how to take care of them. Or then that's when I meet people and say, oh, I killed all the plants, because you overwhelm yourself with getting 20 plants. Instead of starting with one or two and mastering that, being consistent with that plant before you move on and get more plants. Okay. If you're brand new, I don't recommend you starting with 20 plants. Start with one or two. Okay. No more than 5 different type of plants that you're going to grow to eat. Do not get 20, because there's so many. All these plants have different things you need to do, different care, different ways of growing them. And if you have 20 and you never grown anything, you're going to confuse yourself. So start with one. All right. Start with one. And the one that I would recommend for you to start with is herbs. Okay. Herbs are very, very easy to grow. Like I said, I teach kids, I teach people from all different walks of life, and we always start with herbs because herbs are something that you could add to your meal, and also it gives you more and more and more. One plant could give you more herbs to add to your food and flavor your food. And then also you could grow it outdoors and you could grow it indoors. Okay. And you don't need a lot of space to start them. You could start them in containers. You could start it at the windowsill. Okay. And or if you have heard something that's called grow bag, you could start it in a grow bag too. So once you grow that and you have tiny success, and that one success will change everything for you. Okay, so that's why I recommend you starting with one plant. Anybody tell me, what is your favorite herb that you use in cooking or when you get food, that herb that just does it for you? Let me know in the chat. What is your favorite herbs or herb that you wish you could grow? I love growing. For me, I mean, I have a lot of years of experience in growing food, so I grow a lot of herbs, and I love growing mint. I know a lot of people out there, or a lot of gardeners would say mint is invasive, but for me, I grow a lot of mint. When it grows a lot, that means you have to use it. So if it's invasive and you're not doing anything with it, of course it's going to be invasive because you're not using it. So grow it and use it. I will harvest and make tea. I will use it in my food. I will save it. That's how I use it. And when it's the growing season, you're going to share with friends, and you could use it to the max. And then it will not be invasive. The more you use it, the more it's going to grow. But then you're going to find more ways of using it. So you could grow mint. Another thing that I love to grow is chives. Chives are very simple to grow. Other people call it, it's also like scallion. So it's an onion herb, and you could harvest it in the growing season. You could store it, you could chop it up, put it in the freezer. I have other videos that I show you how to save them and preserve it. So chives is a good herb to grow. It's the first herb that would sprout in the spring. They are perennial, and perennial means it will come back again year after year, just like the mint. Once you have a space, like in a container, and you grow it, it will keep on giving you more year after year. Anybody like mint? Let me know in the comment if you like mint or chives. And as it grows and you are using it and it's giving you more, that's where you start to build up your confidence, and your plants even grow faster for you. All right. So if you are sitting here thinking, what if I kill the plant? You know, you are not going to kill a mint, or you're not going to kill chives, right? You're not going to kill it because it takes a while. It takes really a hard time to kill those plants. Herbs are very simple. Once you do plant it, it's like set it and forget it. The only thing that you actually need to do is to harvest it. You know, what if you're here and thinking that, what if I forgot to water it? It's fine. Sometimes I will forget to water my plants, but then if it's outside when it rains, it is watered. I don't have to physically go out there and water every single day. All right. And when I remember, I go out and water. Every time I go to harvest, I make sure I do quick check. So I'll check the soil and then see if it needs watering, and then I harvest. So every time you go and get some harvest, you make sure you do some care. That's how you're not going to forget to do these things. Some people, that's another thing that people always ask is, what if bugs come? Of course, bugs are going to come. It's part of the ecosystem of gardening. Okay, you're going to have bugs, you're going to have pests. And for me, I say you're doing charity in your community, in your space, because these bugs, these pests, is also their space. And imagine when you grow a garden, how many different living things are in there. And I believe that you are giving back to nature, and it does something to you. Okay. It makes me, for me, it makes me feel really good that I am able to give back to this world through nature, to even a worm, from a worm eating a leafy green. It fed a living thing. So it's no waste. You could still harvest from your garden, even with the bugs, even with the pests, you could still harvest. Some people will say, what if I wasted money? Food gardening is a journey, is a long journey that you're going to learn from every season. All right. You're not going to waste money. You are going to, within that journey, you're going to learn so much. All right. You're going to learn so much, and it's going to change your life in so many ways that you're not going to even imagine. So growing your own food is very important. And also you're going to find so many good things about it, no matter what. So I want you to hear this clearly. Every gardener loses plants. Every gardener loses plant. Every gardener, the difference between gardeners and non-gardener is simple. So gardeners plant again. Okay, that's it. Gardeners, even if you kill a plant, so let's say, for example, you got a mint plant and then you neglected, you didn't pot it up, you didn't water it, you left it outside, and you were away for a month and it died. Okay, of course, nobody cared for it. Nobody, you just bought it and just left it out there and then it died. Um, are you going to be sad about that? You killed the plant. Okay, you killed it because you didn't do anything to grow it. You didn't even have a journey because you were away. So a gardener would say, okay, let's start over again. And you go and get the mint plant. And this time you're not going to neglect the plant. You're not just going to leave it. And if you're traveling, you make sure you put measures in place to make sure that plant succeeds. All right. So if I had to start from zero tomorrow, the first thing I would not do is buy seeds. I would not buy seeds. Okay. I know a lot of people would, now that they're thinking about growing food, or if they go into stores and they see seeds, they have nothing. They're just going to just buy the seeds. I would not buy seeds first. I would not even buy tools first. I would not buy soil. I would not buy lights. These are all things that new gardeners think that they have to buy first to start. You know, I would do, what I would do right now? The first thing I would do is choose my growing method, because the biggest mistake beginners make is copying someone else's garden. So when you go on social media and you see people growing from containers or growing outdoors, especially outdoors, because I know there's a lot of gardeners outdoors just showing their garden week after week, their progress. And then you have people that live in apartments, or they don't have the land, and they're wishing that, oh, they need a yard to start gardening, or if they have the yard, they run to their yard and say, okay, I need to start my gardening here. But the first thing you need to do is, you need to choose the method that works for you. And there's so many methods, and we're going to talk about it. The biggest mistake is beginners copying your somebody else is the biggest mistake. Instead, choose what fits your life. Choose what fits your life. You need to match gardening to your lifestyle, not the other way around. All right. So I practice 7 simple methods, and I'm going to give you an overview so that you will learn the multiple ways of growing food. You do not need to do them all, okay? I just want you to choose one to start with, and I'm going to give you the examples. So sprouts, have you heard about any sprouts? Sprouts are the fastest, easiest, and low cost. Gardening is very fast. I'm sure if you go to grocery stores, buy the leafy greens and the salads, you're going to see containers with sprouts in them. Do you know how long it took them to grow those? Anywhere from 3 to 7 days. And you could do that. And that's one method of growing food. All right. And this method is everybody could do it. You do not need a backyard. All you need is a small counter space anywhere in your household, wherever you live. It could be in your living room, it could be in your kitchen. Hey, if you have a studio or you have a 1-bedroom, like it could be somewhere that you could put a glass of water. You could grow your own sprouts. Okay. Another gardening method that you could practice is microgreens. They're very fast, very nutrient dense. Again, when you go to grocery stores, you will find them packaged nicely, neatly, and put on the shelf there. And they grew those within 7 to 14 days. So let's say today, if you match up and you want to start microgreens, next week, this time, you will have food that you grew. So this is one method that you could practice. Another method is you could do indoor containers. So let's just like how we talked about the herbs, you could do indoor containers growing herbs. You could do indoor containers growing greens and small foods. Literally, you could grow your food indoors. All you need is a little bit of space. So far we talked about 3 ways of growing food, and a lot of people will tell me that they don't have a backyard. So if you don't have a backyard, you could do sprouts, you could do microgreens, and you could do indoor gardening, right? Another way of growing food is outdoor containers. So if you have a little bit of space outside, let's say on your patio, your porch, or steps, you could grow food. You don't need a big backyard. You just need a little bit of space, okay? Anybody have space to grow indoors? Anybody want to do the sprouts or the microgreens or the indoor gardening containers? Let me know in the chat if you will be practicing that, because everyone has no excuse. If you have a place to live and lay your head, you will have a place to start some sprouts or microgreens. It's very easy and is a quick win especially for beginners. All you need is patience for sprouts, anywhere from 3 to 7 days. And then for microgreens, you need patience anywhere from 7 to 14 days. Indoors, it depends on what you were growing. Some could be 30 days, some could be 100 days or more. It's just like growing outdoors, but you're just making the space indoors to grow. So now when we go outdoors, the outdoor containers, so the same way that you have indoor containers, is just moving those containers outdoors, either on your patio, either on your porch or steps. All right. There's another material or tool that you could use, grow bags. Okay, it's similar to containers, but they're flexible. I say they're friendly for people that rent. So if you live in an apartment or you have a house that you know that you can't permanently put your garden there, grow bags are the tools that you could use because you could easily move it. You could easily get rid of it, and doesn't cost that much. It's very cheap to do. So it's just like containers. And also with gardening, if you're struggling where those plants are placed with the grow bags, you could easily move it around. So grow bags is a must for people that have space, small space outside, or they're renting wherever they are. They could easily move it. Another way of gardening, which I'm sure all over social media, you have seen it time in and time out. Raised beds is a structure backyard growing. Okay, so it could be wooded raised beds. It could be done with bricks. It could be built up with cement. There's even metal beds out there. Even the grow bag material, like the felt material, you find raised beds in that bags too that you could use. So raised beds are when you have a backyard, you have room to do like a 4 feet by 4 feet or more. That's when you do your raised beds. This other way, this is the seventh way of the way that I garden or grow food. And you all would know. Anybody that thinks about garden is the first thing that they think about. In ground, right? In ground is the traditional way of growing food. So if you have a backyard and you just want to just go for it, growing in ground is your method. Okay. So we talked about 7 different methods. You do not need to be the master of all of them. You don't have to master those different methods. All you have to do is look at your lifestyle today and match with one of them. Again, let me review it real quick for anybody that's joining right now. First, we talked about sprouts. Sprouts, everybody, any human being from any age group could grow sprouts. I've done it with kids, I've done it with older folks. Microgreens are the same thing. You do not need a lot of space. So everybody could practice sprouts and microgreens. And guess what? You could do it all year round. I live in Massachusetts. It's cold. Right now outside, I have about 2 feet of snow still on the ground out there. So there's no way of me growing food in this temperature outside. But best believe indoors, we are growing food. Okay, so you could do sprouts, you could do microgreens. I think I missed one more that I didn't share. Hydroponic, growing in water. So there's these units, these small units, and also there's towers. I've used them both. I personally have one at home. I have the small tabletop. You could grow in water. I've grown lettuce in the hydroponic. Within 30 days, I had lettuce. I was eating salad from that. And then when you grow lettuce, it's a cut and come again. So I had multiple harvests and I didn't have to buy the box of lettuce. Okay. So that's another way. So growing food, sprouts, microgreens, hydroponic, everyone could grow those all year round. All right. Has anybody heard about hydroponic? Let me know if you have heard about them. Those units are very inexpensive and you could put it on your countertop, just like how you do the sprouts, how you do the microgreens. But if you're starting out brand new, just choose one of these that will fit your lifestyle. Find the space you're going to do it. the time, you do not need a lot of time to start these. Sprouts, microgreens, and hydroponic. Once you have the twos, literally less than 10 minutes a day, less than 10 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. You could get going with these guys. And also making sure you have the energy to do it. So you have energy for 5-10 minutes to start your food garden. You could do it indoors, no matter what time of the day. Okay. And also having a budget. With sprouts, you don't need a lot of things. You probably have the stuff at home already. Microgreens, the same. Let's say hydroponic, you probably just have to get the unit, or also there's ways of creating your own hydroponic. If you're doing indoor containers, you do have to get some tools, but you just also need to have the space to grow your indoor. When we get outdoors, if you're doing container, is the same indoor container that you take outdoor, and then grow bags are the cheapest ones that you could get and start. But when you move into raised beds, that's when it gets very expensive. So just be mindful of your budget and what you want to grow and what season of your life you're in right now. Okay, so that's how you're going to select the methods that you can grow with. Okay. So if I was starting from zero, I would choose something fast and forgiving, like herbs. Herbs are very easy to grow. We just talked about how you could grow mints and chives. They're very forgiving. And the best thing about them, they're perennial. They'll come back again and again and again. So herbs are very easy to grow. Microgreens as well. Sprouts as well. They're so easy to grow. Green onions, lettuce, spinach, basil, because these are all fast growing, and they also build confidence because they're so fast to grow. And before you know it, you're already using them in your kitchen. You're going to build up a confidence, and you're going to be like, yay, I'm a gardener. I'm starting. So you could do this. You could do this. I know you could do it. If I could do it, I'm a busy mom of 3, and I'm so busy, but I still grow food at home. Okay. And again, if you only have 10 minutes a day to do this, I would take a minute to figure out what kind of method I'm going to go in with. Looking at the plants that I want to grow. Okay. If I'm doing indoor containers, I'm going to make sure I have the right soil, touching the soil, I'm going to make sure I know the water I need to water. Like if I'm doing indoor containers, or if I'm doing sprouts, I'm going to make sure knowing the time when I need to rinse, the hydroponic, knowing the time when I need to add water. All right. And if the garden are growing, the leaves, making sure I check the leaves. Okay, rotating my container garden to adjust for lighting around the window. Like this don't take a lot of time. And if I'm growing, like, let's say a potted herb plant, I'll make sure I harvest and as well as remove dead leaves. Like these take moments. It doesn't take a lot of time to do this. You could quickly harvest. And I love when I'm growing indoors, I harvest what I need to use that moment. You don't have to do a big chop harvest. You just harvest a little bit, especially with herbs. So like if I'm making a smoothie and I wanted mint in my smoothie, I will pluck like a little stem or 2 or 3 leaves of the mint and add it to my smoothie. I do not have to harvest the whole plant out. That's the best thing about growing, because you harvest a little bit that you need. And another good thing about it is that you get the maximum nutrients from it. because you harvesting and using it in footsteps. If you go to the grocery store, you see all that beautiful food, all of that fresh food. Do you know how long it has been harvested and then, packaged, then traveled, and then put on the shelves? And then how long, before you went over there and bought, if it's the herbs or the leafy green? Like it takes a lot of time, you know. But if you're growing it at home, like for example, if you're growing your herbs at home and you have a potted herb, like you just harvesting as you need. So you're going to get the maximum nutrients. If you're growing leafy greens, again, you're going to get the maximum nutrients because you're just harvesting and then eating it in moments. So that's one of the biggest benefits. And one thing that I love to do that's part of my 10-minute routine is taking pictures of my progress. Because sometimes, things happen so fast and you enjoying your journey and you forget like how like, day one looked like to day 5 or day 30. And when you take pictures, is you are journaling your journey, and then every season, when you build up and add in more and more and more to your food garden journey, it builds up your confidence and you'll be proud. So always take pictures. So I take pictures before I harvest, after I harvest, and also what I use with my harvest. And that's how I share with you guys here. And you should do that for yourself too, you know. So all of this that I say in 10 minutes, you could do this. And this is real life gardening. Okay, real life gardening. You just do things in moments. All right, so if this is feeling possible for you right now, the next step is choosing your exact method. All right, so that's why I created Garden Method Quiz. I have a quiz for you. All right, to make it easier for you to figure out which method that we discuss, it fits your lifestyle. All right, so you don't have to guess anything. And if you want the step-by-step help, that is exactly what I have inside Food Garden Made Simple Hub, where I help you go from beginner to confident food grower, step by step. All right. And remember, you do not need to grow everything. You just need to grow something, one plant at a time. And I know you got this. So, if you want to start your food garden journey with Tasty Harvest, make sure there's links in the bottom for the quiz. Okay, go through that quiz. Then join me. I have a free community that there's other gardeners in there, and you could share what's going on. You ask questions. I'll help you navigate through them in your food garden journey. But if you're starting brand new and you want step-by-step guide, make sure you opt into the Food Garden Made Simple. I'll pull it up on my phone here to show you. I even have an app for it. And I don't know if you could see, but yes, you could go in here. There'll be the learning. So sprouts made simple, raised beds, hydroponic, indoor, in-ground gardening, grow bags. I have everything, including homework for you to do. All right. And then we will have weekly sessions, live Q&As that will help you grow gardening right now. So you could grow your food, microgreens. So once you take the quiz and you match up with whatever method with your lifestyle, then you go and learn about that method. And then you master that method, start growing within that method, and then you're going to build up. From there, you learn others. If you have space, you could learn the outdoors ones. If you don't have space, you do the indoor one, and then be inspired. And then someday, If life changes, things, your environment change, you could always build up. Okay, so make sure you take the quiz. Go take the quiz, figure out which method is for you, and then let's grow together. I'm here as your food garden educator to give you all that I know how to garden and feed you to learn how to garden for wherever you are. Again, I want you to start with one. I started with one and I built up to all these 7 different type of growing food. And I practice them all, right now because I build up the confidence. And if you want to do all of them, you have to start with one first and then you keep on building. Okay? So let's go take that quiz. Let me show you that quiz too. It's very simple, easy. You could do it in a few minutes. Let me see. Let me find it here. So I have it in, if you go into the communities, a few community, every day is gardening day. I already have it here. You just click on it and then you start your quiz. Okay. And then you just ask questions and answer those questions. I think I put about 10 questions there. And then you get an email with the results of what garden method um, fits your lifestyle right now. And also, depending on how you answer, it could be multiple of them, but you choose the one that you know definitely you could start growing today. Okay. But thank you for being here. If you have any questions, make sure you join the community and come and ask those questions. If you watching this later on, make sure you take the quiz. That's how you're going to understand gardening, the different methods, and make it match your lifestyle. There's no excuses. Everybody can grow food. There's 7 different methods, not one. I know there's one that you see all over social media. There's more to gardening. And all of you could garden wherever you are in life. And again, if you're new here, my name is Sophia Hames with Tasty Harvest, and I'm your food garden educator. And I'm going to sign out here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.